Hello, everyone. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and I have some phenomenal ladies here with me in the room. Welcome to the Wealth Connect Real Estate Roundtable, where we are here to discuss real estate, all things wealth, and all things business. And I am so excited to be surrounded by my sisters, Miss Denise Brooke from Level Up Coaching Academy, Miss India Kershaw, my realtor, and Miss Tammy, wholesaler and investor, my dear friend. And we're just here to share for a few minutes, just have a discussion because there are so many opportunities to build wealth through real estate. And oftentimes people do not share enough. And so this is really a place where we come together to collaborate, to share information, and to pour into one another so that you can soar and be great. So I want to kind of go around the room to give a quick introduction of who you are, what you do, and how you add value in terms of real estate and or building wealth, because we have some wild cards looking at Denise. And then I'm just going to generate some conversation around pain points of getting started to build generational wealth through real estate. So without further ado, Miss Denise, I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how you add value in terms of wealth and building generational wealth for others.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. And thank you, ladies of the panel. I always get excited when I'm working with you all and we're able to share the opportunity to give back by using our voice, our skills, our talent. So greetings, everyone in the Facebook world and wherever else you are viewing this. I am Denise Brooks, your lifestyle influencer and CEO of Level Up Coaching Academy, where my team and I help women entrepreneurs who are feeling stuck and dominated by limiting beliefs and self-doubt to level up and master the shift needed to gain currency and obtain confidence in your journey. I add value by, again, bringing women along, anyone who's looking to build a business, anyone who's looking to tap into something new. I hold your hand, I share my vision, and I get you there faster. Thank you, Sean. I release my mic.
Listen, I can hear that clubhouse coming all through talking about I release my mic. I love it. All right, Miss India, tell us who you are, what you do, and how you add value in terms of real estate and building generational wealth.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Sean, for putting this together. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is India Kershaw. I am a realtor in the Raleigh-Durham and surrounding areas. I am the managing partner of Sims & Kershaw Realty. I help everyone who desires to achieve real estate as a form of wealth. I help you achieve that. I help you realize what that dream is and obtain it. And I add value by doing it with integrity. I think that is a lost art, unfortunately, in our world sometimes. And I treat you just like I would treat myself and my family. If I wouldn't purchase it, I don't want you to purchase it.
India, I love that. And you definitely help us to keep that road in the middle so we're making wise decisions. So I absolutely love and adore you for that. Integrity is key. Miss Tammy, oh my gosh, I'm going to say mentor, sister, friend, coach, all of that good stuff. Let us know who you are, what you do, and how you add value in terms of real estate.
All right. Hope everybody can hear me, but I'm so grateful to be here with you ladies, beautiful ladies again. My name is Tammy West, and I'm the owner of Level Up, REINC, your one-stop real estate solution. Basically, it's my goal to educate and, help a lot of women and minorities get started in the realm of real estate. We often may want to explore that route as far as also for wealth building and passing on generational wealth. But we also, we run into barriers, and education is the big part of real estate. That's very important. I add value. Not only, I've made mistakes, so I can shorten the errors that one have. I add value as to I try to guide and mentor, anyone who's interested in jumping into the world of real estate. It's not for everybody. It's not what you see on TV. And I bet Sean can attest to that. So we're recently finishing her first project. But nonetheless, I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you so much. And yes, you have seen me walk some roads. So Denise, this is the way I want to do it, right? Everybody's eavesdropping on our conversation. This is like good girlfriends talking about building generational wealth. So just pop in and help me to co-mod. But I want to talk about two things in particular today, because sometimes people don't know how to enter into the world of real estate investing. They hear about it. Sometimes it feels like it's not even obtainable. Like, I'm trying to just get my first house, and you're talking about other properties. So, India, I would love to hear from your perspective, and Tammy, your perspective around entering the world of real estate investment. And Tammy, maybe I'll start with you for you to tell us a little bit about how you actually got started on your real estate investment journey, and then maybe some aha moments you had along the way. So I think Tammy she may have left out. She'll pop back in. This is the beauty of live, right? So what I will say to that then is, Tammy, India, let's bounce over to you first. What are some things, if you have a person that's just trying to get started on real estate investment, what are some tools or tips that you would give that person?
Honestly, first, I would say, if you could find a realtor, just bounce ideas off of. I know sometimes that seems a little daunting. And here's my tip: if the realtor doesn't want to give you even any insight without signing anything, then you need to find someone else. And then also, if you could just talk to people who have done what it is that you're looking to do. And I think that's also the first thing. You can watch TV, we can YouTube ourselves down that rabbit hole, and you can say, well, I want to do this, and I think I want to do this, and I think I want to do this, but kind of find one avenue and really dive into that. Because there's so much wonderful information on the internet, but it could also be very daunting. So once you find a couple of things you think you may want to do, then just talk to a professional and just ask them what their opinion is and maybe some steps to get down that road.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I know for me, I've always had this burning desire to just dabble in real estate. I remember when I first got started, India, one of my first conversations was with you, and I'm like, I want to do something with real estate investment. Do I need a license? Do I need to be a broker in order to do that? And what was your answer to me?
No, you do not need to do that at all. It's great if you feel you may want to, but again, figure out kind of what path you want to go to, because there's a lot of times that's not even necessary. And if you could leverage someone else's license, like a realtor, and still get your stuff done, then I highly suggest doing that as well.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened with me. I was very curious, and I talked to a lot of people, and I wanted to understand the benefits of me being a licensed realtor myself, or surrounding myself with very, very smart people who could help and assist me in purchases. I think another thing that's really, really important is to understand the different areas of real estate investment. So for me, I absolutely love fix and flips. Like, that's my jam. That's my thing. And I know it's sometimes controversial when you talk about building generational wealth, because people talk about the buy and hold, which it is something. You can have a property, you can purchase it, you can, be that landlord, you can pass it on for generations to come. But my exit strategy for fix and flips is because I have a longer term strategy that I want to get into. And I really want to be able to build up large amounts of income so that I can move into my next. So for fix and flips, India, when you are assisting, we can talk about some of the things that we have going on. Mm-hmm. When I'm coming to you and I'm looking for a great fix and flip project, and I'm actually searching for something that may be on the market, but it's going to be feasible, what are some of the things that you tell me to watch out for? Because I get excited and you're like, Sean, let me bring you back a little bit.
And I think real quick, to that point, is also why sometimes it's best to not even be your own agent, because you really need that neutral point. Even for me, whenever my husband and I were buying some property last year, I had to lean on my colleague, because you do get a little bit emotionally attached, and you really need someone to be like, no, these numbers just aren't making sense. I know you think this is great, but these numbers don't make sense. So really some of the things I always keep in mind is, one, do the numbers make sense? What is, as you were talking about, kind of your exit strategy? How much do you want to net from this? And just as an agent, when running comps and all of that good stuff, and we talked about it actually today, agents don't necessarily make the market. We interpret it, and we interpret it the best way that we can. So we always want to go into, location. If this is for fix and flip, your location could be different if you're doing a buy and hold. So always just going into it knowing what your end game is.
I absolutely love it. And guess who we have back with us? The terrific Tammy. Can you hear us, Tammy?
Boy.
Oh, it's all good. Listen, this is real life. This is real life.
Real life, yes, indeed.
Yes. Well, Tammy, I'd love
I've been diligently trying to reconnect.
Listen, you got this. We've got this. I would love to hear, and for you to explain to people how you got started with real estate, the investment side of things, and then the transition over into wholesaling. And I think it's a fascinating one, because sometimes I hear people, they start off with wholesaling and then they go into the investor side. So love to turn it over to you to just tell your story.
All right. I started investing in 2007, right before the market crash. That was around the time mortgage companies, they were pretty much giving away mortgages. I mean, you could finance several houses at one time, no questions asked, no documentation. So I was purchasing properties off the MLS. Big mistake. Not a big mistake. It was a big mistake because I wanted to be an investor for the long haul. Because I was buying at retail, I didn't have any equity in these properties. And so moving forward, the market crashed. Thankfully, I'm in a great rental market, but still I wasn't making any cash flow because something would break down, something would flood, and there you go, your whole profit for the year is gone. So I held on to those properties, believe it or not, for a little while because, like I said, I brought them at retail, and the market had went. It was a buyer's market for the most part. So I held them for a good amount of time, and then I just said, I got to do something different, especially when you run across people who said they are retired off of real estate. And literally, they may gross $25,000 a month just in rental properties, and I'm sitting here in a negative. So I said, I need to reposition. I need to reevaluate. So I sold my properties, and then I came across wholesaling. And the concept to me was unbelievable because I had never heard of it. I have never heard of actually someone just marketing for off-market property. And also creative finance. So with that strategy, I was able to pretty much double the amount of properties that I had back in 2007. And I have plenty of equity now. So that's what I can use to leverage to acquire more properties, specifically multifamily properties. Wholesaling allowed me to also acquire amounts of cash that I normally wouldn't typically acquire from a rental property. For example, you may come across an off-market property, meaning it's a property that's not on the MLS. It's a property you may walk by or drive by, on your way to work. And you just wonder, like, well, I wonder who owns that. The windows are shattered out, the grass is overgrown, or it's just the eyesore in the neighborhood. Well, oftentimes you can engage and find that owner and see if they're interested in an offer. And basically what I did with my first few deals is I networked with a lot of other investors. And then when I came across opportunities that were off market, I would just pick up the phone, call that seller or potential seller, just ask them would they consider an offer. If they were open to it, we would, move forward. If I was able to lock it up on a contract, then that was gold in my hands because then I could just call one of my local fix and flip guys or call a realtor. Realtors are great resources. They can connect you to a lot of buyers and just assign that contract to, that person. And then in turn at closing, I received the assignment fee. I think my first one was $5,000. That's life changing right there. To just know that finding a property and assigning it to someone, you get $5,000 at closing. I thought it was something that was just, you only see other people say on the internet I think Max Maxwell was the one I first saw do it here in North Carolina. So once I was able to do it, there was no stopping. I had to keep it going. And, so.
I love it. So I'm going to play a game. This is how we're going to rock tonight. Okay. I am the investor. India is my realtor. Denise is going to be my business coach. And I don't know that I need her just yet. And Tammy, you have this awesome deal. So Miss Tammy comes to me, or we're in a Facebook group, closed Facebook group. You have an off-market deal that you are going to market to me. What are some of the things that you do to prepare yourself for this reassignment deal? Because after you present it to me, I got to go to India, and I need you to tell me what we're going to do.
Okay. All right. So basically, typically how it goes is I first get the property on the contract, and I'm marketing the contract. I try to stay away from Facebook unless I close on it myself and own it. There could be a lot of drama behind that. But nonetheless, if we're in the Facebook world and you message me, you say, hey,
tell us about the drama. We want to know the real tea.
And you say, hey, I'm interested in this particular property. We'll then jump on the phone. And I'll just try to engage and see how serious you are about it. If you say, hey, I already got financing lined up, or hey, I'm working with an agent, because most of the time the agent's going to make sure you got your financing lined up, because they don't, want to be running around in circles. And then I'll say, hey, so I do have this property on the contract. I'm not the owner. It's an assignment opportunity. And I'll go into explaining that to the person if they're unfamiliar, because a lot of people aren't educated about that strategy. But if you're very well aware and you know it's an assignment deal, I'm usually open about what I got it under contract for and what I'm asking for as an assignment. Because if it's a killer deal, you'll pay it. You won't even sweat my assignment fee. But nonetheless, I'll always usually have access to the property, so that way you and your agent can go and check it out, see if it's something that'll fit either your rental portfolio or something you want to fix and flip. If it's something that you're interested in, you may want to do, bring a contractor along with you the next time, or maybe that first time you go out. Look around, and then if you say, hey, this is for me, I say, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll schedule a closing with the, board certified real estate attorney here in North Carolina. There's no, a lot of people get in trouble by doing their own quick claim deeds and whatnot. Never do that. Always go through a North Carolina board certified attorney. They'll do a title search. If title's good, we'll go for it with, closing. And at the day of closing, you would, present to sign. You also wire funds or bring a certified check to the attorney. Everything's made out to the attorney. And then going back, I'm gonna step back a few. I went a little too fast. If you're interested in the property, most times I ask people to put money down with the attorney. I don't collect money. You'll find a lot of wholesalers, they're asking for you to cash app them or Venmo them some money. You don't even know most times if the title's clear, or if there's any other rightful owners to the property. I've had that happen before, with someone come out, an heir or a ex-spouse or separated spouse come to the forelight. So you want to do things in order, always have an attorney involved. And if any wholesaler wants money, just say, hey, I'll put it down with the attorney. I have no problem doing that. That way it's held by a trustee. That way, if anything goes wrong, you'll get your money back. You don't know how many stories I've heard where wholesalers have already spent the money, or, just knew it was going to close and something happens. So the day of closing, you and your agent can come, or now they can do mail away docs. You'll sign, wire the funds, or bring a certified check. And as soon as they record, you have a property, and it's on you then. If you were going to do a fix and flip, you probably lined up some hard money, or maybe you have a private lender, or maybe have cash yourself. If you're going to make it a rental, then you're working hopefully with a property manager. That's what I, recommend, to, get it occupied. It's even better if it's maybe turnkey with a great tenant. But the most important thing is, make sure you have an attorney, that you vetted. Even if the wholesaler recommends it, just make sure they're vetted. And, just be careful how you exchange funds. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So you have given us an awesome rundown. So you are my wholesaler. I've gotten this property from you. Like, I'm really, really excited. India, now I'm running over to you. What are you going to tell me to watch out for? What are you going to give me advice on? Even from a market standpoint, my strategy is fix and flip.
So we will definitely still
Okay. So normally, if you got an agent, that's great because they could go ahead and pull the comps. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is our
Exactly.
conversation. You're live.
That's it.
I love it.
Yes, that's exactly what Tammy was saying. So I'll definitely still pull comps. We're going to make sure that you've got enough in there based off of what the wholesaler is asking and how much you feel like you need to put into repairs in order for you to flip it. And Tammy touched on a lot of really great points. So this is also why, one, you do want to work with a wholesaler that is above board and doing things correctly. And two, why it's good to have an investor knowledgeable and friendly agent. Done wholesaling in the past, had a wholesale coach, so I'm well versed on that, and it's important to have that. But Tammy touched on the clear title. That happens, or sometimes does not happen, a lot more than what you need. And trying to close on a property with no title is absolutely no good. And then she also touched on the point about the deposit. So even in a traditional transaction, you do either a due diligence fee or earnest money deposit. And pretty much the deposit that wholesalers ask for is just like an earnest money deposit, and it needs to go into escrow, like Tammy was saying, which is with an attorney. Be really leery if they ask for you to put that in hand, because if something doesn't go right, you need to be able to have that back. And Tammy just said she's had a lot of situations, or heard of situations rather, where they've already spent the money. So how are you going to get your $3,000 or $5,000 back, right? So getting clear title, an agent will help you do. So that's what I'm going to make sure that I can try to see myself if there's anything going, kind of crazy. Like she said, there could be spouses. So just checking the deed to try to see if that person is on the contract, because in North Carolina, it's 1 to buy and 2 to sell. I don't care if they're not, if they're separated, if you are legally married, they still have to sign off on it. And that can be drama. So we're going to check comps. It's also really good when you have a wholesaler who allows you in the house. There are a lot of even traditional sales right now, because the market's bananas, are doing sight unseen, but it's super important for you to be able to lay eyes on the house so you can see what repairs are needed. So make sure you're working with a wholesaler who will allow you to do so.
I love that. Okay, so I got my investor-friendly realtor. We're straight. We got this title. We've closed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling kind of excited about this thing. Bam, bam, bam. I think I kind of want to build a business around this. Denise, I need you to come off of mute because I need some help. I'm trying to figure out what I want to be when I go up. Yeah.
I was just picking up the phone because I knew you were going to be calling me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So as you are helping clients to get crystal clear, like on their pitch, on their why, to really expand and build business, what are some of the things that you do to work with people to help them in that regard?
Yeah. So great question, Sean. And regardless of what type of business it is, I work with women who are all facets, who are interested in getting in all different facets of business. So in your particular situation, what I will first do is make sure that I will want to understand your why. Because once I understand your why of why you want to now turn this into a business for you to get pet aid, because we don't do anything for free, to get pet aid, I would definitely have that discussion with you to understand your why. Once I understand your why, then we want to take it to the next level, hence Level Up Coaching Academy, because we level up. So what I would want you to do, Sean, is really to share your story, your experience, and how can you format that or put that into a package to where you can now help someone else. It's not taking anything away from Tammy. It's not taking anything away from India. You are now starting a business where you can now help others along the journey that you were on, not as the expert, again, not as the expert for Tammy and India, but you're just sharing your experience. You can have workshops, you can have events like this. You can write a book, you can create masterclasses, you can create workbooks and checklists and things like that may not exist, right? I think Tammy and India shared a lot of information. And for someone who's just tapping in, that's your target audience. So I would coach you to that perspective, to let's find out who it is that needs some help first of all, and then we would turn that into a business so that you can get paid, honey, paid.
I've never heard paid like well, ladies, these sessions are meant to be awesome, informative, short bursts of energy to really share information and knowledge with others. We are about to close out. We will be back, and I'm going to say next week because we want to continue these conversations on. So I'm encouraging you, if you're catching live or replay, you have questions, you're interested in learning other parts about real estate investment, how to build your business up, please send that in. But I want to leave with one thing, because that one thing is what I want people to really hone in around so we can continue our conversations forward. I want to know what generational wealth means to you and how you've seen, Denise, whether it's in your business, India, real estate, Tammy, wholesaling, how you've seen some of these things come into fruition where you are actually starting to truly build generational wealth, not only for you, but for the children that you have, the generations that are coming behind you, and why it is so important and it's so necessary. So I'll start with you, Denise. Yep. Tammy, I'll go to you. India, I will leave it with you to close us out.
All right. So really quickly, how I'm seeing that, Sean, is I am actually seeing the lives of women impacted who I've worked with. I've helped thousands of women who are, again, feeling stuck and just wanting to do something different. And my impact to them is showing me mentally, in my mind, helping me to clear my mindset from a generational wealth perspective. Wealth is not necessarily about money. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But the wealth that I'm seeing also is that inner peace, if you will, that gratification that I'm getting knowing that I'm helping someone else. So I'm seeing the evidence there. When it comes to the wealth and, passing that down, I don't have kids, but my kids that are going to be coming from God at some point, and their children definitely seeing that. I have reached the $1 million element, and being in that top 2% is definitely evidence that generational wealth is present and we can definitely walk into it. So definitely passing that down and being able to share with women like you all who are looking to do the same thing of just building a business. Simple, it's easy. I'm going to be able to help you see the blind spots. And that's the importance of, being able to have a business coach and then being able to see someone who has a like-minded vision. Getting with the wrong people to help you through this journey is not going to help you at all. So having the right person in your corner, someone who's where you want to be, you know what I mean? It's key. So generational wealth is definitely something near and dear to me. And I look for it. It's not about, again, having a whole bunch of money in the bank and not doing anything with it. I invest that back into myself because I want to continue to learn. At some point, I may want to get into some real estate and buy a property or 3. So yeah, we can have that discussion so that I can continue to build that generational wealth as well. So thank you so much for the question, Sean.
Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Miss Tammy, over to you. Miss Tammy, can you hear us?
Oh, I hear you now. Okay. Hey. All right. I know as far as myself, my why and my purpose for generational wealth, I don't have biological children, but I have 17 nieces and nephews. And my goal was to be able to leave each one of them a property. So far I'm at 10, so that way if they wanted to go off to college or they want to one day live in it or, just to pave the way. I know it would have made a big difference if, I had someone sewing into me that way. But then also, generational wealth just for the community at whole. I'm hoping to leave, a trust for my community in regards to grandparents that are raising grandchildren. I was one of those kids when my grandmother raised me, and also just to be the first millionaire in my family, because we don't have any in my family. So, and then just paving the way for the next generation. And now I have my little 6-year-old niece in my care. So that's giving me the extra go so that I can give her, a brighter future.
And you will do all of those things. I believe it. I believe it. And Miss Denise said you will do all of those things.
That part.
Yes, Miss India, over to you.
Yeah, so for me, it's basically kind of the same as everyone said. Generational wealth doesn't necessarily, like Denise said, have to always be monetary. It can be generational wealth and knowledge, which for me, as our community of minorities, that has been something that is lacking, which is what has prohibited the community at large from getting that monetary generational wealth. So that has been my why. And honestly, because I am tired of seeing our community have to start over. It shouldn't always just end with someone, or someone just gets it started and then it just, dissipates out, or it never even gets started. And again, I think that all starts with knowledge. So doing exactly what we're doing here, which is educating, because that's always the first step in it. And now I do have a daughter, and so I definitely want her to be able to go to college with no loans. Can we say no student loans, please? I am grateful to my parents for being able to do that for me, but it would be great if I didn't have to see that bill every month. So that is one of the things that I definitely want to help her with, and just giving her properties, and she can do whatever it is that she wants. But I just don't want her to have to start over. And as an agent, I want all of my clients to be able to build that generational wealth also for their families, because to me, that's my generation as well.
I love that. You all make my heart sing, and I guess I'll be the last, but not least. But for me, generational wealth is truly about empowering and the generation behind you. I believe we all have a responsibility that we stand on the shoulders of greatness. I definitely believe for each and every lady that's on this stage, and for the people who are watching, I believe that there is royalty that runs through our veins, and that we are powerful beyond measure, and we have a responsibility to pay it for others that come. And I am determined that I'm going to live full of purpose, and I don't want to leave this life and I have purpose inside of me to help other people. I think that it's really important to understand that we have access to multiple streams of income. I am a 9-to-5er. Tammy is a 9-to-5er. Denise is a 9-to-5er. India, we're trying to be like you one day. But I believe in multiple streams of income, and there's so many things, and you can work on a job, and I love what I do. But I don't want that to be the tell all be all. And I want to be an example for my children, those that are going to school to be doctors, that are soaring in their own right, that they can have other avenues and ways by which to build wealth. I am a kingdom builder. I am a faith believer. So I believe that we have access to so many things, and we can pay it forward, and we can do so many good things. So real estate has been able to provide those opportunities for me, that I am able to feed families, that I am able to adopt a family for a holiday, that I'm able to do something beyond me with my first property, that I'm able to give someone affordable housing in an up and coming neighborhood, and it's going to change the trajectory of that neighborhood. It's going to change the trajectory of someone's life. And you hear the passion in my voice, it's because it's there. So I am so excited to be on this journey. I'm so excited to be surrounded with like-minded individuals that truly believe and understand the importance of building generational wealth. And I'm so excited to just have this conversation over and over and over and over with you ladies. So thank you for coming. I'm asking you to come back next week. And this will also be an opportunity for us to like work out live things as well, because I might have deals that I'm trying to get analyzed. Tammy, you may have something you're trying to throw in my lap. Denise, I might need some business coaching. India, we talking every day, like every day. So I love it. So I am going to close out this room. I feel like I'm on Clubhouse, but it's really live. And I just thank you ladies again. So let's give everybody a big wave, and we hope you tune in for the next live session. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.